The internet didn't simply report the news, it detonated with it. When the headline, "Jamie Dornan leaves Amelia Warner," appeared, it spread across every platform in seconds, turning curiosity into chaos. Fans demanded explanations while tabloids rushed to fill the silence with speculation. And almost immediately, Dakota Johnson's name was dragged into the storm even though she hadn't been anywhere near Jamie in months. Rumors multiplied faster than anyone could stop them. TikTok edits resurfaced old interviews, weaving lingering glances into a false love story. Twitter users froze screenshots from red carpet moments and twisted them into evidence of a hidden connection. Even major outlets published reckless headlines, pushing the narrative that Dakota had something to do with Jamie's decision. Through it all, Jamie said nothing. His silence was interpreted as guilt, as confirmation of scandal, as quiet acknowledgement of something he never actually did. The longer he stayed quiet, the more people believed the worst. And the louder the internet shouted, the more distorted the story became. Amelia Warner, meanwhile, was thrust into the harshest spotlight of her entire life. Paparazzi camped outside her home, capturing every step she took, every breath she exhaled, and every expression she tried to hide. Photos of her looking tired, withdrawn, or simply overwhelmed were instantly turned into narratives of heartbreak. Comment sections filled with pity and outrage, painting her as the abandoned woman in a love triangle that never existed. Her friends tried to protect her, but even their support came wrapped in sorrow. People assumed she had been betrayed, humiliated, and blindsided. But Amelia's pain, real or imagined, was drowned out by the noise of millions of strangers projecting their own stories onto her face. And still, neither she nor Jamie corrected the public. Then came the clip that turned the situation explosive. A grainy phone recording captured Amelia talking quietly to someone in a parking lot. Her voice trembled when she said, "I don't blame Dakota, but I didn't think Jamie would actually leave." The video ended there, offering no explanation and no context. The internet didn't care, it ran with the half-sentence and treated it as truth. Overnight, people declared Dakota the cause of the breakup. Fan accounts posted emotionally charged threads accusing her of ruining a family. Conspiracy theories tied unrelated events together, turning coincidence into fabrication. It didn't matter that Dakota had nothing to do with any of it. The world had already chosen its villain. But beneath the noise, something much heavier was happening. Jamie wasn't celebrating, smiling, or hiding with someone new. He was sitting alone in his kitchen, head lowered, hands clenched, unable to breathe properly under the weight of what he had done. No one saw the exhaustion in his eyes or the months of internal war he'd endured before making his decision. The truth had nothing to do with Dakota. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't scandalous. It wasn't selfish. It was something deeper, something he had carried silently for years. And the first crack in the facade appeared when a private conversation leaked. Jamie's voice, quiet and strained, said, "I had no choice. Amelia knows why," before the recording abruptly cut off. 7 incomplete words that sent the world into a frenzy. Questions multiplied instantly. What did Amelia know? What choice was Jamie talking about? And why did he sound like a man in pain, not a man in love? The world demanded scandal. But what really waited on the other side of Jamie's silence was a truth far more complicated, heartbreaking, and human than anyone online imagined. The full truth emerged only after the complete version of Jamie's leaked audio was released. In the extended clip, his voice shook as he said, "I had no choice. Amelia knows why, and she told me to do it." Suddenly, the narrative the internet had built collapsed in seconds. This wasn't a man running toward someone else. This was a man running away from something inside himself. The next morning, Jamie sat down for a rare, unfiltered interview. He looked exhausted, eyes heavy, jaw tense, the kind of tired that comes from emotional burnout, not lack of sleep. He took a long breath before speaking, as if afraid his voice might crack. And then he said the sentence that silenced the entire internet. "I didn't leave Amelia for Dakota. I left because I was becoming someone I didn't recognize. He explained that for years, he had been hiding an overwhelming mental health battle. The industry pressure, the non-stop speculation, and the weight of playing roles that consumed him emotionally had taken a deeper toll than anyone knew. Jamie revealed that he had tried to handle it quietly, convincing himself he could keep functioning while slowly falling apart inside. But Amelia saw the decline long before he did. According to Jamie, Amelia had begged him to slow down, to rest, to seek help seriously, not just temporary escapes from work. She tried to shield him from the media, from the demands of fame, from the expectations he piled on himself. But Jamie admitted he grew withdrawn, silent, and emotionally unreachable. I wasn't present anymore, he said. Not as a husband, not as a father, not even as myself. Amelia, heartbroken but patient, reached a point where she realized loving him meant letting him step away. She didn't ask for a separation, but she supported it when Jamie said he couldn't heal while being under the same pressure at home. She told me, if leaving helps you breathe again, you need to go, Jamie confessed. It was the hardest thing I've ever heard, and the hardest thing I've ever done. The interviewer asked about Dakota, and Jamie shook his head immediately. He said Dakota had nothing to do with the breakup, and in fact, she was one of the first people to encourage him to fight for his marriage. Dakota told me to go home, he added quietly. She told me not to run from my life. His words shattered every rumor in a single breath. Meanwhile, Amelia finally addressed the situation in her own gentle statement. She clarified that there had been no betrayal, no third person, and no secret affair behind their separation. Her message read, "This decision was painful, but it was ours. Jamie's well-being has always mattered more than the headlines written about us." Her calm tone contrasted painfully with the storm the internet had created without her consent. After the truth came out, the online outrage shifted into remorse. Fans apologized for the assumptions, for dragging Dakota's name into something unrelated, and for projecting scandal onto two people who were navigating one of the most vulnerable periods of their lives. Even news outlets issued corrections, admitting their speculation had fueled unnecessary harm. But the most emotional moment came from someone unexpected, Dakota Johnson herself. She posted a short message on her Instagram story, no photos, no drama, no cryptic quotes. Just one simple truth. Let people heal without adding to their pain. It was a reminder that fame does not erase humanity, and that privacy becomes a luxury during heartbreak. Jamie later opened up about his deepest fear, that he had failed Amelia as a partner and father by letting his internal struggles spiral unchecked. He explained how stepping away wasn't about running from responsibility but confronting it. "I didn't leave to start a new life," he said softly. "I left to save the life I already had." The interview ended with Jamie admitting he still hoped for reconciliation one day. He made it clear that separation wasn't the end but a painful pause. "I owe Amelia honesty, health, and stability," he said. "If I become the man she deserves again, maybe our story isn't finished." The world watched in unexpected silence. Not scandal. Not betrayal. Not a love triangle. Just a man confronting his breaking point, a woman choosing compassion over pride, and another woman wrongly blamed by millions for something she never touched. And for once, the truth was far more human, and far more heartbreaking, than any rumor the internet had invented.